Hey everybody, it's Max McAllister from Traction Dynamics here today. We're doing an experiment. We've got another big customization going on here, as you can tell. Accessory installation for a customer that's ridden in from Tennessee. And this bike, we've got a lot of the usual suspect accessories going in. But one thing we're doing, the owner's had trouble with his iPhone getting so hot that it'll shut down in the glove box on the bike here. So we've gotten a little carried away. The owner had brought us in some heat matting and wondered if we could try and slide it up in between the glove box and try and insulate it, but we got a little more carried away. This is in our typical style, and as you can tell here, we've stripped this bike away to get the whole glove box mounting system out of it. Because we're going to do a nice job of insulating that box, and I'll show you a couple of things we've learned along the way. This is actually what your bike would look like. Here, hand me that camera for a sec. If you were going to change your air filter, that's basically all that's left to do in here is to pull the covers off and get to the air filter. So we're kind of down to that point. This would definitely be easier, or have been easier, if we had done this while the fuel tank was out. But basically, there's a lot of electronics you have to unstrap from the side of this mounting frame, and then tons of wiring harnesses are clipped to it all around everywhere. And then on DCTs, there's some kind of delicate wires. I have no idea why they're all exposed like this, but they are, that you have to be careful of to get this out. And then what happens is we get this frame out over here. That your air box sits in, something like this, and when you turn it over, there's 4 screws on the bottom that you pull out to remove the air box. And then, so Jacob worked on this one, and the owner had carried in this stuff from Neuco. And tell us, Jacob, what is this stuff like to work with? It's kind of a heavy duty, like it actually has weight to it.
It doesn't stretch very well, but it does stick and mold once you get it on there. Make sure you get your screw tabs recessed so it sits down nice and flush.
Yeah, so what we did there was once Jacob had it all fitted up and covered all the way around with a layer of this insulate heat blanket, we took a 16 millimeter socket, pushed down around each of the plastic mounting studs. We didn't want to make sure that these still made up normally with their locations in the brackets, so that nothing doesn't sit unlevel or higher, so the bodywork sits in its natural place. An interesting thing to note is that Honda is already obviously aware of this problem, because this glove box already is insulated from Honda. It's 2 parts. I don't know if the camera can see, but let me point with a pick here. This is actually foam, and so there's a plastic outer case, then there's the plastic inner case that you see, and then an insulating foam layer in between the 2 halves. That is already, they're trying to prevent heat from bothering the stuff in your glove box, but it's inadequate. Now, we don't know if this is going to work. We've never done this before. It was actually the customer's idea, so we're accommodating his ideas, concept. So we're going to screw this back together, put this back in the bike, and sometime in the future, I'll do a little follow-up to this one in a month or so after the owner reports back to me to tell me if this significantly lowers the temperature inside his glove box, and if it does, maybe we'll be on to something. So again, this is Neuco, and I guess they have, says detailed tips on installation at neuco.info. But it's heavy. This, it actually kind of feels like metal, and the sticky stuff is kind of tar-like, I guess, obviously, because it has to be able to be subjected to high heat. So we're going to put this together, get it back on the bike, and then I've got another couple of cool ideas we've come up with that we're working with first on this bike. And stay tuned, we're putting some new accessories on from Electrical Connection that they've got out on this bike. And so anyway, I'm Max. Don't forget to like this video below, share with your friends, and I'll be back in a minute with some more videos.